Electric slide into the devil doors of life. Things are changing and it ain't the way I like. On the replay, wish I could get a replay. Don't mean to hold ya, but I wanna do over. Gas up the ship, shoot me a text and let me know when it is time. I wanna get off, I wanna get off. 1 star, would not recommend that we go far from here. I wanna get off, I wanna get off. Stop the world. A music podcast for the culture. Wild, wild thoughts.
Yo, what's up, everybody? We are here with Wild, Wild Thoughts. I got my man, the Kdot scholar in the house today. B Red is joining us. So I'm sure y'all already know. So let's give everybody a couple of minutes to, give everybody a couple of minutes to join us and get in, gather around, young children, gather around, give everybody a little bit of time to get in here with us, see that we live. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to miss nothing. I don't want to miss nothing. So I'm gonna give everybody a couple seconds to come on in the room. And we're gonna talk about, y'all already know what we're gonna talk about, right? You already know we're here to talk about the Kendrick and Drake battle. We hopped on Friday night, right after
Meet the Grams drop.
Meet the Grams. Right after Meet the Grams drop. We hopped on Friday right after Meet the Grams drop. And we were talking about that, and I'll be damned if Saturday Drake didn't drop Not Like Us.
Man, did he?
Let me tell you something. So this is how I know, for me, this is how I measure how songs have impact. And this is something that's been like this since I was a little kid, even before I was like actually a musician, is I have moments where I remember exactly where I was and what I was doing when I heard a song. And Not Like Us was one of those moments like that I know years from now, I'm gonna remember exactly where I was and what I was doing that song drop. Like I remember driving home from school. I think we was driving home from summer school. I just picked Daniel up from school. I had my little first hoopty, and I was on 83rd and Normandy, passing by the old dairy. All About the Benjamins came on. Ooh. And me was all in the car. Like it was me, Speed, Daniel, I think Lamar, like a couple of the homies was all in. And I remember we was like, what the fuck is, so it was one of those moments. I remember the first time I heard Slum Village, Jay Dilla, Get This Money. I bought a little mixtape. I don't know if y'all remember. You too young for this, B, but people that's my age probably remember the Zoo Rap mixtapes from the Slauson Swap Meet. You would go to Slauson and get a mixtape with everything that came out Tuesday. You go to Swap Meet on Thursday, they got all that shit on one tape for $10. We would go get the Zoo Rap mixtape, and I heard Get This Money. What up, Ron? What up, cousin? I heard Get This Money by Slum Village, and I thought they was from the West Coast. When I was like, who is this? Like, this shit banging. And same thing, I went to pick Daniel up from Bret Hart, and he'll tell you he remembers that moment, right? Well, I feel like that when I heard Not Like Us, bro. Whew. Sheesh. But before we get into Not Like Us, let's go back to the night before. So, to me, there's a couple of reasons I feel like Drake won. Multiple reasons that I feel like Drake won. One.
Like Kendrick won.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, Kendrick won. You're right. Well, I feel Kendrick won. He out-strategized, he out-maneuvered, he out-rapped, and even out-Draked Drake. Right?
Did. Without even having a social media presence.
Without having it, so we did it for him. You know what I mean? Like, the records dropped, and the world basically did it for him. Drake tried to go the I'm gonna do funny memes route, and that shit backfired. Like
doesn't work.
When he dropped Euphoria, he tried to drop that little funny video from 10 Things I Hate About You. I hate the way you walk. And first of all, I was like, that's the whitest shit, like comeback. Like it wasn't even like that was a movie for the coach. Like you could have went to Bernie Mac and did I hate the white. Like, Like you could have went and did something from the black culture, but you went and did 10 Things I Hate About You with Heath Ledger. What?
Right.
What?
Something that
And
nobody
then
even know what that movie is, bro.
right, and then when he finally like dropped, I thought he probably thought he was killing because he was gonna drop a video with it, and
Right.
I'm like, he dropped Family Matters, and I'm in the grocery store. My cousin Lil Red texts me like Drake just dropped. I'm like, oh, send it to me so I can hear it. So I listened to it in the store, and I'm like, all right, I gotta listen to it again when I get in the car so I can really try to, dissect it, give it the attention it deserves. So I get in the car the second time, listen, bro, and I'm not exaggerating. I almost made it halfway through the second listen when Meet the Grams dropped. Did we lose you, B? I think we lost B. Did we lose you, B? You back?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I was signing into my email. I'm here. Yeah, I heard everything you said. You was like halfway through the second listen, and then Meet the Grams dropped.
Like halfway, and then so I go to Meet the Grams, and maybe I'm one of the few. I don't think I went back to Family Matters for a while after Meet the Grams.
I didn't either. I couldn't.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
couldn't.
Did you? Like I went back and revisited. There was a dude. I wish I had his name because I want to give him a shout out. Who I follow on YouTube. Who every time a song come out, he would do a breakdown. He's hilarious. His breakdowns are hilarious. I'm gonna look for it whenever you start preaching, and so I could give him a shout out. But I was like, how you drop a diss record 20 minutes after the nigga drop his, and you're answering his record? That was unheard of. That was the first time it's ever been done. You're literally listening to diss tracks in real time, which, like people don't understand. Like you couldn't do that during the hit 'em up days, right? You couldn't do that during the because you had to get a record,
take over.
You had to get a record out. You had to get it pressed up. You had to go through the label. Then you had to go to the radio station. Then it could drop. So it could probably be about a month before your answer could be heard. But now because of technology, what up, Rex? Now because of technology,
what up, cousin?
You don't have to go. You can literally drop it. But it was like he heard it before the shit dropped. He tried to warn you. And it's the other thing, B. Every single warning, if you go all the way back to Euphoria, all the way back to Like That. Okay. Every warning that he tried to drop, Drake did not listen. He tried to give a warning in every record, like, don't do it. Nigga, don't do it. Nigga, don't do it. Every single time. And everything that Kendrick said came to fruition after he said it, after the warning, after he told him, like, if you do this, I'm gonna do that. If you do this, I'm gonna do that. If you do this, I'm gonna do that. So, Not Like Us dropped, and Friday we said the only way that Drake could get a win out of this was to drop a hit record. We said his only way out now is to drop a smash, even if it ain't a diss record, even if it's just a dope Drake record, one of his 1-2s. He got to drop a club record. We said that was his only recourse. And then not only did Kendrick beat him to the punch, Kendrick beat him to the punch with a diss record that's a banger. With a diss record that's going to be played in the clubs all summer. Like Drake can't go to no clubs this summer, nigga. Because they're going to be playing that record all
that record summer. Is going to be played forever. Let's be clear. In every club, that because it got to the sports. It got to sports. It's on sports.
Dude. Wait. Speaking of sports, right? So
the video game,
remember when I told you I said I remember where I was?
I got a lag. I'm thinking behind, but I was sending you the video of the Dodger player. That's his walkout music. Okay, a day later, he's walking out at Dodger Stadium to that song on Sunday. No.
Not even a day later. But I'm saying not even a day later. So we played at the Dodger game that Saturday night. While we're playing is when Rex come and tell me that Not Like Us dropped. Right? Mm-hmm. Not Like Us dropped that night. He listened to it. We're on the way home. On Dodger Twitter, after they win, the caption was Not Like Us. On Dodger Twitter that night.
That's
Shit
crazy.
is crazy. Shit
Just to
is
show you how quick that shit jumped into the culture. Just to show you how fast. So I'm gonna ask y'all first. What's y'all thoughts on Not Like Us? Go ahead, Rex, and then we'll go to you, B.
honestly, in all honesty, I feel like Kendrick pulled a Drake card on himself, basically, and flipped this whole shit and turned it into a club banger. And now Drake is trying to come with some weird I don't know what the fuck he's doing. But yeah, that's an all around banger, and it's not gonna go anywhere. Like, yeah, that's it. That's it. That's a hit. It's a hit.
What you think, B?
I mean, everything Rex said, I 100% agree with. But to take it a step further, is that Kendrick's been saying for the longest, like, you are an imposter in the rap game. Like, you go here, you go there, you take these sounds or whatever. I'm going to use my native tongue, my native sound from where I'm from, and use that because that's West Coast all the way. Mustard, the beat, the crip walking, just the vibe. You don't have that. You can't go to Toronto and give us a Toronto sound and diss me over that sound because you don't have that. It's not, you're not part of the culture. You got to go to Atlanta or New York or wherever he is biting off at that time, the Caribbeans, hey, wherever he's in to make a sound that's not your sound. This is me. This is West Coast. You see the Dodgers are playing it. People in the club playing. You don't have that ability, bro. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. You are cosplaying as something and biting our culture.
Well, and this record did a few things for me to solidify the win, right? Like, this thing did a few things for me to solidify the win. First, the last recourse that Drake fans had was, well, Kendrick ain't got nothing in the club. Like, we could play Drake diss records in the club. That was like the last little ditch effort thing that they had. And then
That was
like,
the last straw on the camel's back.
That one, and also the other only thing they had left was, well, Kendrick shit got too many layers. Like, don't nobody understand all that shit. So not only did he address the Drake fans who were saying that shit, he addressed them with, like, I'm gonna do a simple record that's straight up, even though it's still some deep shit in there. I'm gonna give y'all just enough straight dumb shit that y'all can just catch on the first time. Because to me, the difference between, and tell me if you agree, Brandon Red, the difference between Drake and Kendrick records were, even Drake's clever lines in his records were very surface. I got everything the first time. It was very surface. It didn't take no deep dissection to understand what he was saying. Every record, like, and I listened to all of them. And then Kendrick records, they have something about them that will make you want to have multiple listens because you like, oh, I didn't catch that. Let me go back. Oh, damn, that mean that. Oh,
It
that
has a
mean
deeper
that.
meaning.
Yeah, and I didn't get that from Drake's record. So to me, even the replayability wasn't there in the same way. What you
Right,
think?
100%. Even going back to something as simple as the cover art of the diss record. If you look at push-ups, it's simply just a size 7 shoe label. Like, that's
Right.
very immature and face value. You see it, oh, he's making fun of his shoe size, which is, I guess, the punchline of the song. Euphoria, people were like, oh, damn, that's Drake's show. Oh, this show is about this. Oh, it dropped, like, they were like, and then you look at the definition of it. It was like, okay, this is you're on a high, and people are like, oh, that, like, it had so many. Just the cover art alone from both of the first diss tracks shows you that there are levels to the thinking and the planning and the premeditation of it. I mean, come on, bro. Like, a size 7 shoe, that's what you're leaning on, like, for your first diss. Like, you gonna come with anything
Trash.
better than that? Like,
And that's what I mean by it was very, like, elementary. It was very rudimentary, like the dishes that he was dropping verse what, and that's what I said. Even like, if you, like, as a lyricist, you know what I'm saying? I'm like listening to what they're both doing lyrically, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if this gonna get it. Like, every time Drake would drop a record, I would be like, I don't know if this gonna get it. That was the feeling that I had.
right.
So now, B Red, I know you have a few things that you want to, talk to our audience about. So
Okay.
go ahead.
I'm ready.
Give us
So
a
I'm
little
ready.
classes in session. You ready?
So yeah, so I'm preface this by saying that this is from hours of listening to all the records, being on Twitter, being on TikTok. So this is a little breakdown from me. Having all the records, I'm able to go back and kind of listen to them, knowing what's going to happen and what did happen. And this is a little bit of a breakdown for that. Like, come bring it all full circle. So
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna preface this by saying the last thing that Drake said in the Heart Part 6 was he was worried about the facts. I want to get to the facts, right? So all the stuff that I'm about to say are facts. They're not my opinion. These are things that were said and that ended up becoming true. Okay. So push-ups, when it first dropped, in the beginning of push-ups, Drake has the tagline of "Who Kid?" It says "Who Kid?" Going through it, "Who Kid?" is not associated with the song at all. He didn't produce it. He wasn't featured on it or anything like that. People didn't know what that was from, but why he was saying that. There was a TikTok person, guy named, his name is Jody Too Good. I want to make sure I give him a shout out for this. He called this on April 24th. He said, "Why did Drake use the Who Kid tag when there's no association with the song?" Then he broke everything down. He said, if you go to Mr. Morale on the cover, there is a picture of Kendrick with his 2 kids and his wife. He said, then later on in the song, he breaks down Whitney, I'll be with bodyguards like Whitney. So then he said, maybe he's trying to say that one of the kids from that cover of Mr. Morale, remember Mr. Morale, this is very intricate into the story. This is a big detail. So he said, Mr. Morale, maybe he's using that to say one of the kids is not his. He said this on April 24th, then he was able to break down the pettiness of it. And I have the post. Yeah, I have the post from TikTok. I can send it to you and everything. So he said it's on April 24th, one day after Push-Ups dropped. He broke it down very good and said he's going to try to say that one of the kids from the cover of Mr. Morale is not his. This is before even Kendrick even dropped Euphoria. This is the day after Push-Ups, right? So then he says, I'll be with bodyguards like Whitney. So he's trying to say maybe Whitney needs protection, maybe something like that. Once again, alluding to him hitting on, Kendrick hitting on Whitney. This is before any rumors are out. This man broke down Kendrick lyrics and had it out there, right? Okay. Then you fast forward to Taylor Made. Taylor Made was the second track that Drake dropped. In Taylor Made, Drake himself was the first person via Tupac AI voice to hint towards him liking young girls. He said, talk about him liking young girls as a gift from me in Tupac's voice. Kendrick didn't say nothing about that. He hadn't even responded yet. That line is in Taylor Made. Drake said that himself as Tupac, right? So that he was the first one to bring up the young girls. That was not Drake. That wasn't Kendrick, right? So then you move on to Euphoria, right? Going back to that in the opening line, he says, fabricating stories on the family front because you heard Mr. Morale. That goes back to Mr. Morale and him knowing, bro, you're trying to make up stories about me and my family because you heard the album. In the album, there's a song called We Cry Together, where it's a very toxic relationship. He's arguing with a woman in the song. She says in that song, I want to fuck your cousin. He says, you want to fuck who? He took that. He's fucking somebody else. And maybe that kid is not his from Mr. Morale. Kendrick already knew this. He's like, bro, don't fabricate stories because you heard my album. And once again, keep in mind that Mr. Morale is going to come up one more time, right? So in Mr. Morale.
Damn, I didn't know none of that.
You're going to have to send this to me.
Right, I'm going to send all that to you. In Euphoria, Kendrick says nothing about pedo cases, about Baca and his case. Yeah, he has said it kept it all. It's all lyrical. He even says in one of the lines, it's not about gimmicks, not about critics. It's about who's the greatest. You don't want none of that stuff. He's telling you, bro, this is what it's about. And then he ends the song. He ends Euphoria. He ends it by saying this. Let me get to the lyric real quick. I don't want to mess it up. He says, whoever fucking with him, fuck you niggas too, and fuck the industry too. If you take it there, I'm taking it further. That's something you don't want to do. That was his first warning, right?
Yeah.
He goes to, then that was on Tuesday when he dropped that. Friday, before I get to Friday, Thursday, there was supposed to be a drop from Drake on Thursday night. Everyone was saying that it was supposed to be a drop. He didn't drop. There was a reason. We didn't know why he didn't drop. He was like, okay, so that got pushed to Friday. I'm going to tell you why that got pushed in a second. So Friday, he dropped 616 in LA, right? This is another warning to him, okay? He gets to it or whatever. And one of the lines from there is, let me see. Hold on, let me pull the lyrics up real quick on my phone, on my laptop. I don't want to misquote Kendrick.
This shit goes deep.
This shit, yeah.
I didn't know
deeper than what it is.
So Kendrick was even trying to head him off the path from the get-go.
From the get-go, bro. If a TikToker was able to decipher that in one day, bro, how do you think like Kendrick didn't already know where you were going with it, right? So in 616 in LA, he says, where is that lyric at? Okay, so he says, have you ever thought that OVO is working for me? Fake bully, I hate bullies. You must be a terrible person, right? So then, and then the next line is a couple lines after that. He says, it was all fun until you put money in the streets and lost money because you came back with no receipts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's telling you, like, I know you put money on the streets. You don't have proof of whatever you're going to say to me. You have no receipts. And we know that because later on, we knew that whatever he said about Kendrick, there's no proof of that, right? Earlier in the line, he says harassing Ant, who is Top Dog. Anthony, I don't know his last name, but that's Top Dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he warned him in that song. Now, 616 in LA dropped Friday, right? Before I get to the next, what happened next, this is a very crucial part that I have heard nobody say, even on TikTok, Twitter, none of this. This is my own research. If you go back, I listen to all the songs from We Don't Trust You, We Still Don't Trust You. I've listened to everything multiple times. There's a song that The Weeknd has on We Still Don't Trust You was dropped April 12th, right? Way before Push-Ups even came out. His The Weeknd says in that song, where are my lyrics at? Let me get to them real quick.
I feel like I'm in school. God damn.
Right. It's funny.
Troy Breeze just said A minor. I said, I don't know how many times I just be yelling. I just literally be yelling that shit for no reason now.
Facts. Me too, bro. Me too.
So in the song All to Myself that came out April 12th on We Still Don't Trust You, before any diss track was dropped, The Weeknd says, they can never diss my brothers, baby, when they got leaks in their operation. This is his part that he's him dissing Drake in this. He had other lines, but this is one I pulled from that. He said on April 12th, when they got leaks in their operation. He said, and you know, he's more tied into the Toronto scene because that's where he's from as well. Mm-hmm. He was said it before anybody ever said it, that you got leaks in their operation, right? Okay, so Drake drops Family Matters on Friday, a little bit after Euphoria, right? I mean, after 616 in LA, right? The reason why he didn't drop Thursday because New Hope King, the restaurant in Toronto, was getting a bunch of like hype off of Kendrick's thing, right? They didn't have that scene recorded for the video. They recorded that on Thursday night. They went there, recorded. People saw him from Toronto, like they didn't go in the restaurant. If you look at go back and look at the video, they didn't really enter the restaurant. It's more of a, I'll call it a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air type deal where you see the outside of the mansion, but they really weren't in there filming. They were in somewhere else filming it. They went out, they filmed in front of New Hope King, all that stuff to add to the video and, you know, fix it up and make it like they were at the restaurant to add more like, oh, he's at the restaurant now. He didn't go in. He was never there. He filmed it, went and added some like Chinese food or whatever in his house, ate that like he was in the restaurant. He wasn't there. They had to add that to the video, which is why it took a day extra for him to drop. Kendrick knew this, which is why he waited. No, he knew all this information because whoever's in the mode is telling him, bro, we're not dropping tonight. We're dropping tomorrow. We gotta film this, whatever. He knew all of that, right? So, and you can help me more on this. This is my theory too, Dame. Help me out on this, right? If you listen to the end of Push-Ups, right? The end of Push-Ups is the same beat as the beginning of Family Matters. Yeah. Now, when you record a song on a beat, can't you just spice it up and like take a part of the song you don't want and just have that weighted rating and then drop the other part later on, right? Yep. Kdot already heard Family Matters, which is why he recorded Meet the Grams right out. He had it to go. Like you said, 20 minutes after you listened to the first song, he was able to drop Family Matters. He already heard the full length of it, which is why he was able to go and do Meet the Grams right after, because the full version of that song was the whole disc was recorded. They cut it off at the made me have to do it, take it PG. They cut it right there and started it up. So he already listened to the whole song, which is why he had Meet the Grams locked and loaded, ready to go, right? He drops that, right? He already had that, which is why he already was able to respond to the slaves on Not Like Us the next day. He didn't record that in the day. He could have. I mean, he can make up lyrics like that. He already had the slaves part recorded because he listened to the whole Family Matters throughout, you know, before it dropped, right? Now, Drake thought Family Matters was a fucking. He thought it was the kill shot. That was his nuke to drop that.
Oh, he thought it was a
day
knockout.
pre-
That was his
He
red
thought
button.
I was
Right.
a knockout punch. Oh
Right.
shit!
And listen to this. This is why. Okay, so these are things people missed in Family Matters. Right. He said, you propose in 2015 and don't want to make her your actual wife, right? And so he's saying that they're not married, right? Then he shows two cakes, one that says co-parenting and one that says divorce. How are you saying they're getting the divorce, but you just said they weren't actually married? That's a contradiction in itself. People didn't catch that. Like, he's constantly contradicting himself, bro. You just said they're not married, they're getting divorced. In the picture that Kendrick leaked, there's a receipt for a ring. What he did was he had a replica ring made that Whitney has, and that's when he's holding the ring. It's supposed to be like, "Oh yeah, I got your bitch ring." Kendrick knew that. There's a receipt for the fucking ring in the picture, bro. Why would you leak that to him? Why would you leak to him that was the end of the video, like him holding the ring. That was like the climax of it. Why would you leak him the information of the ring? That makes no sense. So that's why we know he didn't really leak it to him. It was a mold, bro. Why would you show him you're gonna buy a ring and put it in the video?
Well,
come on now.
Well, yeah, like, even when you talk about contradictions, G, he said whoever feeding you whoever feeding you info is
clowns.
He said, what he call them, Red?
Clowns.
False, yeah, but then 2 lines later he say, we fed it to you on purpose. What?
For a week.
No, you can't do that. Right. You can't double back on your word, nigga. No.
And the first thing he posted after the leak was, oh, these guys said I have a daughter. They're in shambles. If you leak information to him, that's your gotcha moment. That's the time to show me leaking information. Here's Baca telling you this, telling you that. That's when you don't go on Instagram and say, oh, they're in shambles. No, you say I made him do this. Here's my response to that. You step on his track. So in reality, Kendrick stepped on his track twice with 616 in LA and Meet the Grams. Like, he knew he had all the information already, bro. Yeah.
And what was the last record? The Hard Part 6? Or
the Hard Part 6
a little later.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that later.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Finish what you're doing. Go ahead, cook. Let's let B cook.
Okay.
B cook.
Okay. So and we know that Kendrick really doesn't make mistakes when he writes his records, right? He doesn't really. He's a Pulitzer Prize winner, so he knows how to use words, right?
Facts.
So in the Meet the Grams, there's a part where he says something that a lot of people didn't catch either. And I can't find the TikToker's name. This is not me. I want to give credit to credit's due. So I'm gonna find it out and give you his name who found this out. This wasn't me. But he pointed out, I think his name is Jason or something like that, but I'm gonna find it for you. Hold on, let me get to the lyrics. Give me a second.
This is crazy.
Okay, so there's a part in Meet the Grams where he's saying Kendrick is making statements, right? He's talking this fourth verse, he's talking to Drake, right? And he's making statements. He says, you lied about your religious views. That's a statement. You lied about your surgery. You lied about your accent and your past tense. You lied about your crew members. You lied about all the kids you got. You lied about your son. You lied about your daughter. Hello, can you hear me? Somebody called me. All right, I'm back.
Yeah.
He says, you lied about your son. You lied about your daughter. Huh? That's a question. Everything else that was everything he meant. At the end, when he says about your daughter, he says, you lied about your daughter. Huh? Question mark. Everything else he said before that was a statement. Why did he say you lied about your daughter? Huh? Like a question. He didn't do that on accident, bro. It's in the lyrics. There's a question mark behind it. He's saying like you lied about her, huh? Like I figured it out, bro. I know you lied about your daughter. Like, so that's a theory that's out there, but it makes sense because why would he say after all those statements, why would he make a question mark after the last statement, bro? That doesn't make he's not gonna do that on accident, right? So the theory is he knew about the daughter being like he had somebody on that side feeding him information. So he's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. All the shit I said prior to that is still relevant and real, bro. You're still a sick dude. You're still doing it, still doing that. I try to tell you, I don't want to take it there. I got more information on you. You don't want to go. Like, so yeah, that wraps all that up. Maybe we can get on the Hard Part 6 later. But yeah, Kendrick knew from the beginning, bro. Like, there is no getting around those allegations of him not having the leak in the OVO camp, bro. There's no way.
This nigga Kendrick is Kaiser Soze. from from he's tied to Soze, dog. Like the way he's again, like I said Friday, I said the only way Drake come out of this unscathed is if he just drop a monster hit, and then Kendrick did it. Like to me,
it's
that was
cooked.
the knockout
Right.
punch.
Yeah,
And then he come with the hard part 6. To me, and tell me if I'm wrong, no matter how hard he tried to come on the hard part 6, it sounded like he was waving the white flag to me.
Yep.
Oh, he was.
It sounded like
He
it
was.
sounded like he was trying to empty the clip. This the last little dirt I got on him. Let me try to use this.
Nope.
And then he even the record he was talking about, Mother Eye Sober. He was trying to say, like, everybody like, bro, you didn't even listen to the record yourself. Because that record, he's not talking about him being molested. He's talking about his mother being molested, and nobody protected his mother. But I'm like, he's like, so like the whole premise of your record now is off because you didn't even use the right, premise of that entire record.
False information.
And well, yeah, but not even false. It's like literally that information is there for you. It's real information there for you, and you got that wrong. And to me, that shows you how cerebral he's not being. The fact that he got something as simple as not getting what the record is talking about, not getting that right, something as simple as that shows me that Drake was just not really, really, really ready for this fight.
Nope. He didn't know it was coming. He got caught off guard, which is good.
No, he thought it was gonna be easy. Cause like think about it. First he was saying, nah. He like I want the smoke now. Don't try to not respond. Then when he got the first response, he's I'm going on vacation. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, now I'm going on vacation. Then after that, it was like, what else you got? And then he was like, oh, you about to wake up the demon. What is gonna take to wake up the demon? This nigga done killed you. I don't know how many times he done went in on you.
And he still kept going, and you still didn't respond back to like that. So what are you doing for real? Like it don't add up to me.
And then even on the hard part 6, he tried to use Kendrick's line like, oh, the Pulitzer Prize winner is spiraling. Like it don't look like he's spiraling, dog. So like it looked like he's poised winning the fight, hitting you on the chin. Like, so you look crazy. Like even what you thought, like to me, like I said, Drake is used to being able to run to social media and get him and his fans to make fun of his opponent. And even if he's not really winning, that's how he gets over. But like, because Meek Mill, he won. Pusha T, he got slaughtered. But because he got those fans, he was running the social media to try to make jokes about Pusha T. You can't get away with that with Kendrick. Because Kendrick got a big ass following, a bigger following than Pusha T. Kendrick got loyal fans just like you do, and Kendrick got the records to back it. Like you can't just I'll sell you. You can't use that for Kendrick. Like even if you sell more records than me, all my shit sell like crazy. I'm a Pulitzer Prize winner. I got the respect, and I've been coming at you for a long time. And I guess Drake been like secretly dissing Kendrick for like 10 years, like since 2013.
Right. I had said on Twitter, bro, this was hip hop fans MCU, bro. And 2012, when Kendrick was on Control, was the first Avengers movie. And this past weekend was Infinity War and Endgame all in one. Like we've been waiting 10 years for this whole thing to come to an end, and this weekend was the fucking Endgame that we got to see as hip hop fans, bro, in MCU terms, bro. Like it's literally been going on for a while. And all the stuff you said about Kendrick is true. And the main thing too that's true is Kendrick has a whole region that's behind him. You never is gonna turn the West against. He said in Push Up, "I'm bigger than you in your own city." Like nigga, stop, bro. You're not bigger than Kendrick.
Your own city proved it because they playing your record. They playing his record in your city.
Well, Van Lathan even said that. He said this again goes to show more of the disconnect that like Drake got. He said because Drake really believed that. Like he's like, no, nigga, you're big in Hollywood. You're not big in LA, not real LA. You're big in Hollywood. He like, you're not bigger than Kendrick. He said, but that shows you that disconnect that he really believed that.
Right,
brother.
I have a theory on Pusha T too. I'm gonna get to later on too as well, bro.
Do y'all think Drake try to come back with another one? Yeah. But answer this question first. Y'all think Drake gonna try to drop another one?
No. And that question actually is a good segue into why about Pusha T. I don't think he's going to say nothing else. And the reason being because now his labels, he's dropping shoes tonight, which I don't know if you know about, if you heard about that. But
Yeah,
Drake has
yeah.
his shoe release tonight. So billionaires are now getting involved to be like, bro, stop with this because you're fucking our money up. You got a shoe release coming up. He has something else going on, like a tour, like a relapse tour that's going on later on in the year. That's probably like not gonna happen now, whatever. So bigger stuff is going on. My theory on Pusha T, because he addressed a lot of this. I will give him credit for addressing most of the things that Kendrick said on his records. He did have rebuttals for him, even though they weren't like deep lyrical rebuttals. He did rebut most of the stuff that Kendrick said. Well, one thing he didn't say, which was one of our favorite lines in Euphoria, is "Let me see you push a T." He never ever has
Never
addressed Pusha
answered.
T, right?
Never.
And my theory on this is my own theory, not from TikTok or Insta or anything. This is me just being a nerd. In 2018, when they got into the beat and Pusha T revealed he had a son he had been hiding, that was Drake's last year on Young Money, Cash Money. In 2018, his last album was Scorpion. And that same year, he signed to UMG for the 400 mil. I can almost guarantee they probably said, "Hey, sign this. You do not. It's not a good look for you hiding a kid. You want this money. You want this contract. You got to end it with Pusha T. You cannot respond. We cannot talk about it. We need you to go on a run with your son. Show you're a good father." Because after that, he was all everywhere with his son, pictures, everything. I believe UMC made him cease and desist with Pusha T. Don't mention him no more. Show you're a good father. Give the brand a good rebranding, because if not, we're not going to have you on this label as the head of this label with all this money. Because he's never ever said anything on any track. He's never. Drake is the king of passive aggressive lines and sneak dissing, which is what makes people mad. He's never snugged this Pusha T ever again. Ever. He's never took the opportunity to say anything slick about him. Virginia, nothing. He hasn't. For him not to do that, I really believe his label said, "Hey, bro, you want to come over here and get this bread? Pusha T is out of it because he made you look bad now being a good father." And that's why he's never mentioned him again. And the same thing I think they saying about Kendrick. They like, leave Kendrick alone. He's making you look bad. Leave this man alone.
And I know he got more records, and I think they're trying to see, like, you know, if Drake gonna do or say anything.
I think they're telling him not to say anything. I think they're telling him to lay low. Let us do PR. Let us figure this out. And yeah, but don't say nothing to him because he's never addressed Pusha T. The only thing he did was he went on LeBron's The Shop and said, "Oh, if I would have said what I wanted to say, it would have been too bad. I didn't want to take it there." He was being, that's all he ever said. He's never gave any other sneak little jabs at Pusha T. He's never mentioned them again because I think he was told not to.
Well, because Pusha T was killing him though. Like when Pusha T dropped that record, like Pusha T, again, you talk about just strictly rap. Even if you're not talking about the salacious shit, if you're not talking about the T, as they say, Drake can out rap Meek Mill. Drake can out rap. He can't out rap Pusha T, and he cannot for sure out rap Kendrick. So if you just take it strictly based on talking about just the art, and that's what I was trying to tell people. I said the art. Take away the records, take away the Drake got all the hits. If we talking about battle to battle without all the accolades, just niggas rapping. And that's not just like Drake ain't trash at rapping. I'm not saying that, like, but rapping head to head, you're not out rapping Kendrick. Like Kendrick has done a song that he only did like on a talk show that one night and never did it again. It wasn't even like a song on the album or nothing.
What?
Like, yeah, like I'll send you a couple. There's a couple times he did Untitled, which he ended up recording them later. But when he did Untitled the first time on Jimmy Kimmel, like, or is it Jimmy Fallon? That record wasn't out. He wasn't he was actually promoting the damn album. And then he did this record, and it wasn't on no platforms. It wasn't on, and I'm like, to me, that's the art. It takes a true artist to take a risk like that and be like, I'm not gonna do nothing that's from this album promoted. I'm gonna do this record so people could, I feel like Blue Faces. There you go, Troy Breeze. Thanks, Troy Breeze said Blue Faces. Look up Blue Faces live. He did that record. That's not on any albums. He ended up doing like a recorded version that you can probably find on YouTube, but he did that record live on a late night show, and it was crazy, and you never heard it again. And to me, I don't think Drake would have the balls to do that
Oh hell
because
no.
Drake is like, I'm trying to sell records, I got to do. But you know what I'm saying? Again, it's not a knock on Drake. I'm just talking about the difference between them as artists, and
Yeah.
what is the art, where the artistry comes into play, where you're battling somebody, where you're going up against somebody. Like you would, I think you might remember B Red. You was on the podcast Friday. Like I said, Andre 3000 started wearing all that weird shit because he wanted somebody to say something about him wearing dresses and shit so he could battle him. But because niggas then knew his artistry, nobody would say nothing. I think Drake made the mistake and thought his crown was invincible. He thought he couldn't be taken down because I think he's been annoyed since Control for sure. He's been annoyed that Kendrick has been like, nigga, no, I'm number one. I ain't sharing it with nobody. Since Control, he's been annoyed, even though he's selling more records and all that. It's been like bothering him. So then when Drake dropped Like That, the verse on Like That, I mean, when Kendrick dropped his verse on Like That, yeah, I think Drake was just like, okay, I got to go get him now. But I don't think he was fully prepared for what he was getting into, because I don't think he understood how much deeper and how much more substantial Kendrick's music and lyrics are. I'm talking about now, we're talking about Kendrick's albums versus Drake's album. You know, like I'm talking about like the subject matter, the way he talks about it, the rhyme patterns. He's a real poet. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference in the level of artistry there. And I think Drake didn't appreciate that when he got into that battle. I think he probably might appreciate it now.
Yeah, that's really what I think Kendrick, the base of Kendrick really not liking him, among other probably personal issues that they have that we don't know. We're not in the industry like that or around them like that, like us, like the majority of fans, is you don't understand hip hop and the history of it, the appreciation of the artistry, which you speak upon. You're a musician, you understand that. If you see somebody that's like, I can't think of like the fake musician way of doing it, but you see somebody that's not really like, you know, they're making fake drums or they have fake, you're gonna be like, bro, like this is not, stop, you're not a real musician. You take more pride into it when you're really into something like that. So he got on top of that.
Right.
And Drake has history of not being able to keep up with like real rap artists. Like, I don't know, most people don't remember, but he got into a beef with Common. I think people sleep on Common as a lyrical rapper. He killed him off. Like this is back in like 2015. Yeah, like 2015, something like that. Like it never really responded to Common. Like he couldn't. When Common broke him down lyrically, he wasn't able, and that's always kind of been a
because Common dissed him at a live show. He was rapping and he dissed him in a live show. They got it on YouTube.
Yeah, he did, and Drake never. And I think that's always been Drake back in Drake's mind, like his insecurity of not being a real rapper, the ghostwriting rumors, he's a pop artist type. So he took this as, I'm ready, I'm about to get Kendrick, and he went after the wrong person. Like, there's not the person to go after lyrically if you're going to try to prove that you're a real hip hop artist. Like, it's not. And like Dame said, he's not a bad rapper. I think Drake's delivery is good. I think some of his punchlines are witty, but he's never made me think. Like, his shit is just very surface level, like you said earlier. It's not like I'm thinking about his shit. Like, even I love Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne shit, he can make some witty metaphors, but the shit is not like, real G's move sounding like lasagna. Like, it's a dope line, but I mean, it's not nothing for me to think twice about, bro.
And like Troy Breeze said too, like this also has exposed his connection to the culture versus Kendrick's connection to the culture.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I said that when I heard him make that he's still rapping like he's trying to free the slaves. When he said that line, I said, you just proved Kendrick's point. You just proved Kendrick's point that you are not connected to the culture. If you thought that was a dope line and nobody around you told you, I don't know if you should say that line, bro.
Right.
And then the nigga whole verse again, Not Like Us is a banger, but he has the whole verse where he sets the punchline up and give us the history to call this nigga a colonizer at the end.
I mean,
brilliant,
bro.
Brilliant.
Dame, is there ever a verse that, can you think of any? And I know you know more about music than I've forgotten. Has there ever been a verse in hip hop or R&B that was set up from the beginning of a verse and then a punchline at the end of a verse like that you can kind of like use as a example? Like, okay, he set this up from the very beginning and then spoke, and then at the end of it is when you get the fucking punchline.
There is.
What up,
I'm gonna
V?
think of it while we talk.
What up?
What a V
Only
Ray.
one I
V
can
Ray
think
just
of,
joined us.
Dave.
Damn.
Tell me if this is a good one. Is and we kind of knew what he's talking about. Is Common talking about I forget the name of the song. He's talking about a woman, but he's talking about hip hop, but it's a woman. He uses it as a woman. Like I love this woman,
Oh, I used
and
to love
then
her when he was just
Yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah,
you. I used to love her.
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So the whole time he's like a woman, but we find out it's about hip hop after, and then Kanye sampled it later for Chicago. That's the only thing I could think
Yeah.
of. That's like these niggas set something up. In the end, we found out it wasn't what they were talking about. But the actual punchline of the verse at the end of it, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Not the way he set it up. Not the way he set that shit up where he was like, stick with me, and he go through the whole real nigga challenge, give you the history of Atlanta first, of like how they colonized Atlanta first. Then he goes to show specifically how Drake culture vultured Atlanta with each artist. Like, oh, you got on with 2
Each
Chainz, you got
artist,
on
he
with Lil
called them
Baby, you
all
got on
out.
with 21 Savage. You're like, nigga, you ain't a colleague, you a fucking colonizer. I was like, sheesh. So again, brilliance even in a club diss record, which I don't
Right.
think we've heard that kind of brilliance since No Vaseline. Like No Vaseline to me, and this is why I tell people no record to me has topped No Vaseline. No record has topped No Vaseline for me yet, because No Vaseline to me is the only diss record up until this point, and Euphoria probably is the closest now, that it had no throwaway lines. Like most diss records, there's like a line or two where you like they just trying to rhyme with the last line or get to the next line. If you listen to No
The
Vaseline,
fillers.
bro, from the
The
beginning
fillers.
to the very, there's no fillers in No Vaseline. Every line is like like every single line, and like
Fuck all y'all.
nonstop. And that's to me why that's why no diss record has beat No Vaseline yet. Because I'm like, this is to me the only diss record that has no fillers. But I feel like Euphoria might be the closest to being a diss record that actually has no fillers.
Right.
So
And I would be
Euphoria is definitely
honorable
in my
mention
top
to
5.
Eminem's Kill Shot at MGK. It didn't have a lot of, to me, it had no fillers in there. You know, Eminem's very precise in his lyrics too. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he
It's
went
very
crazy
honorable
on there.
mention. Yeah.
Yeah, he went crazy on
Yeah,
that dude.
And again, like I said, the hits that Drake been taking all weekend to come back with the Heart Part 6, I'm like, I feel like he knew he lost. He didn't even pick a beat to feel like he won. That shit didn't feel victorious at all.
It
No,
was
not at all.
mellow booty. It was
That nigga
trash.
sounded
I ain't
sad.
even.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
sounded sad. He sounded defeated. He sounded exhausted. He sounded like he didn't really want to do the record.
And
Like,
then at the end of the song, he was just talking. It was like, yeah, bro, you done for it. It's you cooked. Yeah, just call it quits, man.
done for. V-Ray, give us your thoughts on Not Like Us and the Heart Part 6, because we finished talking about the other ones Friday, but we didn't get a chance to get on since Not Like Us and the Heart Part 6.
Well, honestly, I thought the Heart Part 2 was pretty cool as far as the track. I know it wasn't like some riding in on a chariot kind of shit, but I thought the track was cool, and I think he did some of his better lyrics or delivery or something about it seemed more genuine than the other shit that he had dropped during this whole battle thing. But I mean, he got smoked. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Plus, the nigga kind of put his 2-week notice in the fucking lyrics and shit to say he didn't want no more smoke. But he said, just like I was talking about last weekend, where a motherfucker's getting his ass whooped and leave the fight like, you got enough, nigga, with nose bleeding and shit, and say I all fucked up, and you asking the other nigga if he's tired of getting his ass whooped. That was the way that I felt like Drake went out with the lyrics. But I mean, honestly, dude just murderized him and shit on every release. Every single release there was
every release
that would have been anything but get your parachute and jump out the plane, dude. It's like you lost, and it's simple as day. Now, personally, I'm tired of these motherfuckers now and shit. I'm ready for some other shit to happen, because it's like, how many times can you watch the same ass whooping and still be like, oh, every time it's like, okay, hit him in the face with a brick again. Like, wow, just like last week and the week before.
Well, that's why when I heard Not Like Us, I said I feel like this is Yeah, I said when I heard. Yeah, but I said when I heard Not Like Us, I felt like Kendrick was really. This was the victory. Like he dancing over his body at this point. Like it wasn't even.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Pissing
at
on
that
his
point, it
grave.
wasn't even about the battle no more.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like Not Like Us really just pissed on his grave. Like it's not even about the
Right.
battle no more. Like I won. Aha. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And
Like
then
that's
and then
what Not Like
Now
Us
you
video
feel
going to
dude
the
like.
with the
gram and shit.
face.
Got his burial plot in the background, taking pictures and shit. So I don't know, but like I said, I'm done. I loved it, and it was. I think it was good for hip hop, despite what Questlove and other niggas were saying and shit. But I'm just ready for another record. Kendrick, if you got some other shit in the chamber, put that shit on another album, like on the album, and put some other shit with it, and you know what I'm saying. Change the names to protect the innocent and keep it moving. You go out on top. You know what I'm saying? There's no need to keep going. Now Drake, on the other hand, I bet you he's rethinking his whole shit with what his next move is. Now he's like, oh, I was gonna rap with Lil Yachty next, but now I'm on blast about that shit. So I can't go there. Now I gotta make a record, make a regular Drake record, and just be in your lane and own that lane, because he really did own that, that pop clubby, with that special effect joint on his vocals when he switches to singing. All that's all Drake shit. Do that, bro. You the king of that, and be great. But no more battles because you not equipped, or pick a motherfucker who you can whoop his ass, and like a fighter trying to come back and get like a little the custodian at the gym and shit, and put that motherfucker some big gloves and shorts on and make the comeback dude fight him. That's his next battle opponent if he even goes that route again.
I think he should leave the battle shit alone.
Yeah,
exactly. I think
exactly. You've been there,
and I think to me, yeah. And if you look overall, I think this has dented his legacy more than it has helped it.
I
And
agree.
he probably thought it was going to help his overall legacy. Like, not to say people still gonna buy his records, people still gonna be fans, but I'm talking about his overall legacy of looking like the Teflon Don, like he was the number one guy and nobody could touch him, and he was the best, top of the mountain. I think that piece of his legacy is gonna be changed forever.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, but he just picked the wrong guy, man. I mean, he probably could have cemented he definitely would have cemented his legacy if he would have killed Kendrick Lamar, but that just wasn't in the cards for that shit. So he should have left
a high risk, high reward. Yeah, definitely a high risk, high reward battle.
Yeah.
But the risk went out. The risk went out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, like I said, I feel like he got a little arrogant. I think he wasn't prepared for this. I feel like he got a little arrogant. So because his arrogance didn't let him prepare the way he needed to step into the ring with Kendrick. Like that's what I feel like.
Ever since that nigga been rocking the beard, he
all right, and this is this is what I want to talk about too, man.
Nigga shave and just go back to do another record.
Yeah. Go back to being Toronto Drake. Stop trying to be Atlanta. I don't like Atlanta Drake. Go back to being Toronto Drake.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask y'all too, like, what do y'all think about how like all the East Coast niggas be kind of, it feel like the East Coast niggas been lightweight throwing shade because Kendrick is winning. Because first they was all with it, they was all for the battle. Then when it was like Kendrick was winning, all of a sudden they trying to say his records is corny, he's whack. Oh, we need to stop. It's going too far. Or like Questlove put up a post like hip hop is dead. I'm like, man, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Gilly the Kid was like, oh, Drake won. It's over. Light skinned niggas winning. And Cameron and Mace, they switched it now after Not Like Us came out. Cameron and Mace was like, yeah, no, he won. But even I think one of the only East Coast niggas who was keeping it a buck through the whole thing was Joe Budden. Like when I heard Joe Budden, he was the only one who was like, yeah, Drake said some nice shit.
Nigga played that shit on the podcast.
Yeah, he said Drake was saying some nice shit, but he was going record by record, dissecting it. And he was like, y'all know I don't really fuck with Drake. He said, but I'm trying to be as objective as possible. And he said, but when Not Like Us came out, he like, bro, that's it. That's it. But I've been seeing like a lot of like that East Coast shade been sliding back out there because the West is on top and Kdot is up. I was like, oh, that shit's still there. I thought we was done with that shit. But have y'all seen any of that? And what are y'all
Nah,
thoughts on that?
it's 100%. The fans in like East Coast are out. Are kind of Kendrick got fans in the East Coast, but like the hip hop heads, like you said, Gilly, Cameron, Mace. I saw Fat Joe. I saw a couple other people that I probably worked with Drake or maybe want Drake on their podcast, kind of rocking with Drake, even like before Not Like Us with Euphoria and comparing Euphoria to Push Ups. It wasn't close, bro. Like I don't just lyrically, like I don't understand how people were saying Drake is up off Push Up. Like everything he said was, like you said earlier, Dame, was elementary, basic, going at the man's height, his shoe size, little sneak distance. It wasn't nothing. So then he comes out with Euphoria, and East Coast rappers were saying, "Nah, Drake is up." What this slow song? They don't understand like how to. I don't know. It's weird. Like they don't know how to create a song. Just the slow start was a knock against Kendrick. Like how is that a knock? It was one verse, the slow, an intro, the mid, and then the climax. I don't understand what was wrong with it, but like you said, it's that East Coast bias. It's with us with everything. When it comes to sports, when it comes to hip hop, when it comes to style, like everything. Like just being a college fan, USC and UCLA doesn't get a lot of play in the East Coast when it comes to those sports. So it's always Lakers don't get a lot of love in these. It's weird. It's a weird thing that we get hated on by the East Coast just in a majority. And I don't know why. It's just they don't like us. They not like us. Kendrick said it.
I was just like, they not like us. They not like us. And I was tripping. But it's funny too because this also has had the side effect of like reuniting the West. It seems like. You know what I mean? Like it had the side effect of getting the West Coast all back on the same page. Like, we all finna say fuck him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Like you said, V-Ray, I think it's over and it should stay over. Because I don't think Kendrick gains nothing by killing him more now. I don't think Kendrick will gain nothing by murdering him even more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
this desecration of a corpse at this point.
Like you already beat his ass in the cell. You already beat his ass in the cell, drug his body out to the middle of the yard, let everybody know who's king. Like they said on Life. All right, now the man's had enough. Man's had enough of a beating.
One real quick, man, before I forget it. I think was it V-Ray or Rex? One of them just made a point about shaving his beard off and then going back to Toronto Drake. I said years ago that Drake should have went back. He should have kind of went off Flow Rider's style because Flow Rider, you remember, he had a moment in hip hop where he was kind of like here with hip hop, really wasn't working like that. So he took the EDM route and he's still big. He's still making records. He's still doing EDMs. He's still selling out. I'm not telling Drake to just leave hip hop completely, but find your lane and stay there. Don't keep trying to bounce from Houston, Atlanta, Texas, to the Caribbean vibe.
Just don't be a poser.
Yeah, pick a lane and stick. Like nobody talks about Flow Rider. Flow Riders are very successful. He's still touring and everything, but he's found his crowd. He's found his niche, and I don't think Drake ever found that. He kept trying to just do things and take out different things. And every album he listens to is different. He doesn't have range to do that.
Just look for a route to stay relevant.
He ain't got to look. This dude's been fucking selling millions of records and shit. Just quit trying to I think he's trying to expand his market and be relevant with a younger crowd and all that. Because Drake, he's been around, for a minute, right? So it's like, you got your crowd. You just appeal to them. The records that you do, it's always some spillover anyway into other markets, other genres, other age ranges and shit like that. Just be consistent in the shit that you specialize in. You don't have to reinvent yourself. Just don't reinvent yourself for the sake of doing it. Like partnering with these other rappers whose styles are drastically different from yours and trying to rap their style and use their slang and shit like that. Then you look like just what you got exposed about from Kendrick, really going in detail and addressing the shit. You already were winning, so why the fuck would you You know what I'm saying? Do some different dumb shit. That's my opinion. I ain't saying
That's what I said.
keep being just staying in the old style and shit like that. But nigga, your old style was selling 10 million records and shit. So nigga, what the problem?
Right.
Anyway, the math was already mathing. So.
Yeah.
Today's price is not yesterday's price.
Well, yeah, because this shit makes like now it's gonna take Kendrick to another level. Like this battle has put Kendrick on the forefront that he, because Kendrick had his fans, because people act like Kendrick don't do stadiums too, and like he don't be selling out. Like niggas be trying to act like Kendrick being like poetry bars or some shit. Like that's the funny thing, like niggas be like no, Kendrick got a big ass phone. If you
the highest grossing tour by a solo hip hop artist ever, like he just broke that record like in December. So yeah, niggas went. That's why when
they played on Hulu, right? The one they played on Hulu.
Yeah. That's why when Kendrick, when Cole said that thing on his little diss track that he retracted, like you fell off like the Simpsons. I'm like, nigga, he just broke the record for the highest hip hop tour last month. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like,
hey, Drake, J. Cole, back, no take back. That record so damn fast. That nigga J. Cole, like, not it.
That's the hardest thing he could have done too. Look at the aftermath.
Dog.
You have to think about it. Think about how this shit would have went down if Kdot would have went at Drake and Cole at the same time and took them both down. You talk about Teflon. You talk about untouchable. That nigga would have been legendary. He already legendary for not like us, but I'm talking about that would have been another level. Like this dude is unfuckwittable. Somebody said they feel like Kendrick. Somebody said they feel like Kendrick called J. Cole and said, "Don't come to school tomorrow."
the mass shooter, like, hey, bro, hey, remember the niggas talking shit, bro? Hey, nigga.
Don't come to school tomorrow.
Don't come to school tomorrow, dog.
Everybody get it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, don't go to school.
Nigga. I don't want you catching these strays.
Yeah, no strays.
Yeah,
but
man.
to Red's point, go ahead.
No, go ahead, V. I wasn't saying that. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say to Red's point that that Kendrick ain't lost no fans. Honestly, I don't think that Drake has lost fans. Like the people that the ride or die niggas that have been on him from the go, they sympathize with him right now. They're not like, Drake got smashed, fuck him. You know what I'm saying? So if he digs into his real lane, I think he'll be just fine. I mean, he may even get some new sympathy fans.
His fan base is crazy.
I was gonna say his fans are like, what Kendrick said wasn't even true. How could he win when it wasn't even true? And let me address this. Let me address this real quick. Man. Going all the way back to the Juice Crew, Boogie Down Productions, LL Cool J. Every single thing said in the diss has not been truthful. Every single thing has not been something that has not been exaggerated. Like, where's this new litmus test of like, if it ain't true, it don't count coming to record? Like,
sensitivity.
Do you think Jerry Haley really stick a broomstick up Ren ass? No.
You ever seen JB in the karate class?
As far as we know.
Right. Right. But I was like, what is this new thing where they're like, if it's not true, then it don't count? Like, academics, stop glazing, son. Like that like literally no rap battle has been like, every single thing I say is gonna be autobiographical.
Stop
every
kissing him on his cheek and his neck, nigga.
Relax. That's that fan space. That's that beehive shit. You know what I'm saying? The Drake beehive.
Yeah.
So that
I'm like, how y'all trying to break the rules of engagement?
Yeah. So
that's exactly what they is. Engagement.
He come back with another one of them singing, rapping joints. His fans will be like, see, that's that shit that kills Kendrick Lamar every time. Like, yeah, okay, well, buy 1 million of them and go for it. Excuse me.
Yeah, man. Well,
yeah. Any other? And you know what? Real quick, man, before we get off, bro, I just gotta give props to Kendrick one more time because every diss track had a different sound to it. from Euphoria to 616 in LA to Meet the Grams to They Not Like Us. It's like he showed his range that Drake just doesn't have. Because 616 in LA is very soulful, bro. I love it. It's one of my favorite, even though it's very simple, just the soulfulness of it. And then Meet the Grams is fucking creepy. I can't listen to it like just like at night.
I can't either. Yeah, no.
This shit is creepy, and it's telling. It makes you. It puts you in just you really feel what he's saying. And then of course, They Not Like Us is a fucking banger. Like, what do we like? Drake, he really shows you, like, nigga, I do this, bro. Like, you think, and what's funny about They Not Like Us is that fans always are saying, like, oh, Kendrick can't make beats. He's like, y'all niggas want some goofy ass little shit. I can do this if I wanted to, bro. I choose not to. Like, I'm trying to like be deeper than what, surface level type shit. I can make it bang if I really wanted to. They said, I don't know if I said this earlier, and Mustard said he didn't even know. He heard when we heard They Not Like Us. He said, I've been sending Kendrick beats for years. He's never used them. He called me and asked me for the stems. I don't know what stems are. He said he called me and said, where the stems at? And then he heard the record when it dropped.
So the stems are like the track separated out, so he could have like put the drums where he want them, put the keyboards where he want them, put the horns where he want them, and he could cut it up, cut the track up to like fit his verses on and stuff.
And I wouldn't know that, bro. I don't know nothing about music, so I that was on Mustard's page. He had no idea what he's like. I've been sending this nigga beats for years. He just called me like, hey, bro, send me the stem for this record and this record. And when he dropped it with us, he heard it. And he's like, I'm a fan like, yo, I didn't even know you're using my record, bro. Like, he had no idea.
It's funny that it's funny that he never used his record, but he be like, you know what? I'm finna give these niggas what they asking for.
Exactly.
Y'all go through that mustard. Y'all go through that mustard folder because it crazy. It sounds like that beat was made for that to be a diss record.
Yeah,
the way he
for
did
real.
Yeah. That beat, because mustard shit usually ain't got that much like.
Nah, no beef type of
like
no
you know how
beats,
thick like that shit with the horns like mustard. Yeah, like that shit. So it sounds like that shit was made for Kendrick to do that on, which is crazy. But like you said, it just goes to show you how good Kendrick is at doing this. And like to your point, be read about every song sounding different. Think about the amount of different flows and styles this nigga has used on every single record.
Bro, the cadences, the delivery, the inflation in his voice, like he uses his voice as an instrument.
Every
like
record.
It's crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, that just separates the
real from the fake.
Surface rappers and surface performers, and you know what I'm saying. There's
Sad.
room for both of them, but not in the ring together. Excuse me.
No, like you said, it ain't even close. To me, it ain't even close. And like I said, it's not like because I want people to think I'm saying like Drake been trash. I don't think Drake been trash. I just think you're up against somebody who's way out of your league. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that he been trash. It's just like, nigga, you just not close. Not even close.
Right.
But, like I said, that's the difference between artistry and, you know what I'm saying? Like again, like when Drake first came out, he was rapping his ass off, but he, like B-Ray said, he had found his lane in that pop world, which ain't nothing wrong with that. But when you an MC, you can't just jump back into the battle game if you ain't been sharpening your knives for a while. And I don't think you've been sharpening it. And people forget, man, this nigga Kendrick came up, and these niggas in the studio all the time trying to out-rap each other. Schoolboy Q, Ab-Soul, J-Rock, like monsters. So you talking about iron sharpening iron for years. He's around monsters trying to get on, like if y'all on the same label, y'all probably trying to get on the same beat. So niggas trying to out rap each other on the same beats. Like he has like a different level of like competition around him that I don't think Drake has in regards to literally just rapping. Like I said, I want to talk to people about. I'm just talking about rapping. You know what I mean?
Because
like,
I mean, you think about Young Money, Cash Money, bro. Who's on the label other than Wayne? What you got? Lil Twist, Tyga.
Yeah, who's the other dudes on Make Your Bed Rock? They ain't been on shit else, right?
Right. Mac Main.
What's that nigga? Mac Main.
Yeah, but even like, so if you say Mac Main, Tiger, Lil Twist, Wayne versus Ab-Soul, J-Rock, Schoolboy Q, and Kendrick, even there, it's like I said, that's like they got different levels of sparring partners. Your sparring partners are on a different level. So if your sparring partner is Mac Main and his sparring partner is J Rock and Ab Soul, like his iron gonna be a little sharper. Because I went back, it's crazy. This battle made me go back and listen to some old Ab Soul shit. And I was like, damn, Ab Soul was on some shit way back then, like some super lyrical shit before niggas on the West Coast was really, like it's like you got like 4 little corrupts over there at TDE. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, like V Ray said, it was good for the culture, but Kendrick need to leave it alone. Go home, Roger. Just leave it. Just
yeah. I think he'll take the cue though. I think especially to the extent that he's going in on dude, that from his just entertainment industry acumen, I just see him pulling back and saying, this nigga's flatline, so I'm on to whatever's next.
Yeah, which I hope it leads into another Kendrick album.
I'm sure it will, and I bet he toured this summer too.
Yeah,
this is
you got to you got to capitalize.
Yeah, when Cat Williams flamed all the fucking comedians and shit, almost every one of them motherfuckers is out on tour right now and shit. Whether he said something about it or not, he just breathed new life into the comedy industry. You know what I mean? So everybody,
he did. He really did.
Shit is big right now. I went to that comedy show after the Dodger game the other day.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, speaking of which. Yeah, before we get off, did any of y'all get to see the Tom Brady roast?
I didn't see it yet. I saw y'all were talking.
I got to see some highlights. That joke crazy.
Y'all gotta watch it. Hey, you talk about Kevin Hart that found his funny again, dog.
Yeah.
Sheesh. I mean, I feel like everybody except Nikki Glazer, when she was killing Gronk, bro. I was like, literally, I'm legit. I ain't laughed out loud like that in so long. Like I'm laughing out loud at whole like 5 minutes in when Kevin Hart starts going, bro. I'm crying. And I'm like, this is what I feel like how you talking about comedy got new, like how we feel like this breathed new air in the hip hop. I feel like Cat Williams breathed new air in the comedy. I feel like this was like a result of that. Because everybody was going ham, they was going hard. You could tell people wasn't scared about getting canceled with the jokes and shit they were saying. Like I ain't heard people go all out like that in a minute, yo. It was good. It was good to see. It was good for comedy. It was good for entertainment.
I heard it's long as shit though, huh?
Just like an hour.
3 hours.
Like an hour.
Oh,
like
damn,
an hour
3 hours?
No, it's 3 hours.
Oh, damn. I didn't watch all of it then.
But it's worth it.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to check it out.
It's 3 hours.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check it out. I'm gonna check
it out. Let me know what y'all think. I want to talk about that on the next show.
All right. We about to head out.
Kevin Hart was back on his game. Yeah, I'm about to head out, man. So
all right, before you go, we gotta do it.
Thank everybody in the comments.
Oh, hold on, wait a minute. All right.
Mm-hmm. That's
the that record is instant banger. Hey, V-Ray, we gotta learn that shit for the May 26th show. We gotta learn that shit.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
We gotta play. We just gotta. All we gotta do is the OVO and the stab. Yeah. We gotta do that. We gotta learn this shit and play it live. Make that shit smack live.
All right.
That shit gonna be clean. That shit gonna be clean.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, thank y'all for joining us. Instagram was popping tonight. So thank everybody on Instagram who was, dropping the comments, keeping it rolling. And thank everybody who's been watching on Facebook. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Let everybody know we're doing Wild Wild Thoughts on Wednesday nights. Wild Bunch single, Walk It Back, is out everywhere. Go get it, learn to dance, share it with your aunties, the aunties with the potato salad arms. Let them know we got a record out and let them know learn to dance. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this was a good show. Drake, please, nigga, stop. Until
Life
next
support.
time we see y'all.
Yeah. Absolutely.